from Nikki Haley. In the last 6 weeks, she, along with her team, have been crisscrossing the Granite State, trying to pick up every single voter. They've stopped at restaurants, coffee shops, schools, churches, you name it. She's been there trying to pick up every single vote, including Governor Sununu's backing as well. It's important because recent polls show that it has definitely worked. Her numbers have doubled during that time. Meantime, Trump has been back and forth from New Hampshire going to the courtroom. Now, we spoke with our political science analyst who talks about the importance of New Hampshire in the primaries.
The reality is, Iowa and New Hampshire are demographically unrepresentative of the country as a whole. They're primarily rural states and overwhelmingly white states. And so in that sense, they don't represent the country's voters. And so the outsized influence that we give these two states, at least the Republicans still give these two states in the process of deciding who their presidential nominee should be, is, I think, something that the parties should reconsider.
I asked Dr. Myers about DeSantis dropping out of the race and where he believes those votes will go. And he said unequivocally he believes all of those people that were going to vote for DeSantis will now be backing former President Donald Trump. By the way, John, I think it's important to mention the Secretary of State expecting a huge turnout today. He said some 300,000 plus folks will head to the polls today. When the polls close, we'll get those numbers in for you. Now, in New Hampshire, you can vote in the Republican primary if you're an unaffiliated voter. And here is why there's so many wild cards, because those voters make up almost 40% of registered voters in the state. Let's hear again from Dr. Myers.
Well, I think the case that she's making to voters is really twofold. One, she's saying that she's a more professional, more effective, less chaotic politician, right? And so she's telling voters, if you want stability and conservative results and no chaos, vote for me. And the other message that she's sending, I think, is that she is the more electable one, which I think is patently true. If you look at the general election polling, she does far better against President Biden than Trump does.
But here's the thing, we've seen it before. Sometimes those polls are wrong. So in 2 hours, we will know who will get some of those delegates to go ahead, and we will see what happens with the Haley campaign when she goes next to South Carolina. We'll see you in a few hours, John. Reporting live in Nashua, New Hampshire, Tiffany Murphy, ABC 6 News.
All right, Tiffany, thank you.